In this video, we're going to review a couple of different kinds of problems that will be in your Get More Math assignment this week. These two types of problems are changing a percent to a decimal and changing a percent to a fraction, and then making sure that we simplify that fraction. We know that a percent is a ratio to 100. So we know that 34% is equal to 34 hundredths. And so as a decimal, that's 0.34. If we have a two-digit percent in the tens, then this is very straightforward. That's equal to a fraction over 100, and we can write it as 0.34 or 34 hundredths in decimal form. This one is the same way. It would be 57 hundredths, so we write it as 0.57. The next one is just a little bit trickier. This is 8 over 100. So we have to make sure then when we write it as a decimal, we write it so that the 8 is in the hundredths place. So this first place is the tenths place. We put a 0 there and an 8 so that we have 8 hundredths. The next one is a number that is over 100%. So this is going to be a whole number and a decimal. If our number is over 100%, this would be 422 over 100, or 4.22. The next one, again, we have a one-digit percent. So this is 6 hundredths, which means that we have to put a 0 in the tenths place, and then 6 hundredths. Finally, we have another one that is over 100, so this is going to go before our decimal, 5.96. Okay, then we have some where we have to change the percent to a fraction. Now, we know that this is always a ratio to 100, so the first step is just to take the percent and put it over 100. But then we need to check if it can be simplified. 64 and 100 are both divisible by 4, so I can divide by 4. 64 divided by 4 is 16, and 100 divided by 4 is 25. That's my simplified fraction. 1% is 1 over 100. That cannot be simplified, so it's done. 45%, 45 over 100. Again, these are both divisible by 5. 45 divided by 5 is 9. 100 divided by 5 is 20. 17% is 17 over 100. 17 is prime, which means that if 17 won't go into 100, which it won't, we're done. That's all I can do. And this last one, 30 over 100, they both end with a 0. That tells me they're both divisible by 10. Reduced by 10, I get 3/10. And those are two of the kinds of problems you will have this week. I hope that is helpful.